Hey Facebook, Michelle Kramer here coming to you live, your Live Abundantly life and health coach, continuing our series on It's Time to Feel Better. As always, a little disclaimer here, I'm not trying to cure anything for you guys. I'm just trying to give you some natural, holistic home remedies and approaches that will help you to take control of your health and do things a little bit better at home in conjunction with anything that you may be doing with your doctor. So I want to talk about insomnia or sleep deprivation today. I've touched on this topic before, but I wanted to be more inclusive into like why you may be dealing with sleep deprivation. Obviously, there's the obvious things like stress and lifestyle, and I happen to be a night owl, so I stay up fairly late and then got to get up early for kiddo stuff. Because my kids do not know what sleeping in is. Holler if you hear me. Do your kids sleep in? Because I would love it if I'm looking forward to the day when they're teenagers and I can't get them out of bed. I'll probably complain then too, but I would like for them to start recognizing that sleeping past 7 o'clock is a blissful thing, especially on the weekends. So yeah, comment if you understand me, if you feel my pain. And they're 9 and 6, and they're boys. You'd think by now they'd figure it out. Anyway, okay, so according to the American Academy of Sleep Medicine, 30 to 35% of adults have brief symptoms of insomnia. 15 to 20% have short-term insomnia, which means it lasts less than 3 months. And 10% of the U.S. population has chronic insomnia, which means at least 3 times a week they can't sleep for at least a 3-month period. So some of the things that kind of affect this, I don't know, of course, if you realized, but there is a direct connection between your sleep patterns and your blood glucose levels, and your blood sugar levels. So let's say you're not getting enough sleep, okay? When you don't get enough sleep, that raises your blood glucose level, and a higher blood glucose level means that you have less long-lasting fat metabolism at night, and that means you get less sleep. So it's this vicious cycle of if you're not sleeping, your blood glucose levels are rising, and when those rise, it affects your sleep in a negative way. So that's according to the Alaska Sleep Institute. So there's a direct connection between your blood glucose levels and your sleep cycle, and that's so somebody that is dealing with everyday blood glucose issues, like their blood glucose, I keep saying it like that because, you know, FDA stuff, those levels dropping, then, which is something that I did deal with till I started working on my whole body health, and I don't deal with that anymore, but I did deal with that on a regular basis. That affects your sleep patterns. And then somebody that maybe has high blood glucose levels throughout the day is going to have an adverse effect on their sleep as well. What you may not realize is there is such a thing as sleep debt. Sleep debt means that when you are, you know how you're always like, well, I'm going to catch up on sleep. Like you've been sleep deprived all week and I'm going to sleep in on Saturday and I'm going to catch up. The truth of the matter is you have to catch up the day after you have sleep deprivation, you need to catch up that next day because you stockpile it, and it's called sleep debt. When you have a lot of sleep deprivation, you can't just sleep in one day and your body's going to catch up. You have to get back into a regular cycle of regular sleep, and you have to establish a routine of regular sleep for your body to get back into its regular system. And of course, with sleep debt and sleep deprivation, your body is not going to function correctly. I wanted to... So my kids are loud in the background as usual, even though they've been told to be quiet. Gotta love summer. Anyway, okay. So there is a Huffington Post article that I read that I wanted to pull some excerpts from for you all as well, because in addition to the connection between your sleep cycle and your blood glucose, there is increasing research that shows there is a direct connection between your sleep cycle and how well you're sleeping and the microbiome in your gut. Okay. Scientists investigating the relationship between sleep and the microbiome are finding that this microbial ecosystem may affect sleep and sleep-related psychological functions in a number of different ways. It shifts your circadian rhythms. It alters the body's sleep-wake cycle. It affects hormones that regulate sleep and wakefulness. Sleep, in turn, may affect the health and diversity of the human microbiome. So they work together cohesively. If one is off, then the other is off. A significant, fast-growing body of research illustrates the far-reaching effects of the microbiome over brain function and brain health. We've talked about this before, the connection between the gut and the brain. This gut-brain axis is being shown to have what is likely a profound influence over nearly every aspect of human health and psychological function, including sleep. Let's see, there are some pretty fascinating research connecting the gut microbiome to circadian rhythms. I wanted to touch on that, which is the 24-hour biological rhythms that regulate sleep and wake cycles in your body, in addition to many other important psychological processes and physiological. A growing number of studies now suggest that the vast and diverse microbial ecosystem of the gut has its own daily rhythms. These microbiome rhythms appear to be deeply intertwined with circadian rhythms. Research suggests that both circadian and microbial rhythms are capable of influencing and disrupting the other, with consequences to both health and sleep. So here's my recommendations for you. Work on balancing your blood glucose levels, okay? Work on your gut health, because there is increasing research that there's a connection between your gut health and your sleep in both directions. So work on your gut health. Get a probiotic, get some prebiotics, get some things going there, okay? I have a lot of information about that, done a lot of research about that. So message me if you want more information. I would be glad to share that with you. Establish a consistent sleep and wake cycle all week, every day of the week. You've got those Friday night hanging out with your friends where you stay up late, then sleep in on Saturday so that you don't end up with sleep debt. Balance it out. Make sure that you're consistent as much as possible. Make sure you have a regular, relaxing bedtime routine. I know that we teach our kids to do that, and we work with our kids to do that. Well, there's a reason for that. Like, it helps them to sleep. It should help us to sleep too. So you need to have a regular routine that relaxes you every day. And try and do the same thing so that you get your body used to that. Your body starts to shut itself down at that same time every day, so then you can start sleeping better. Find your optimal sleep conditions. If you need a new mattress, get a new mattress. Don't continue being uncomfortable and sleeping that way. There's... Well, I'll just read this one last thing. A neurologist at the University of Minnesota said, when someone is sleep deprived, we see greater sleep intensity, meaning greater brain activity during sleep. Dreaming is definitely increased and likely more vivid. So when you're not sleeping well, your brain is more active, which means that it's, again, a vicious cycle. All of it comes together. You're not sleeping well. Your brain doesn't shut down. So you're having more vivid dreams because your brain is not shutting down completely. So that's a good sign that even if you think that you're getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep, if you're having these really intense, vivid dreams on a regular basis, that's an indicator that your body's not fully shutting down. So keep that in mind. So anyway, if you have any questions, as always, you can reach out to me. I'm happy to help. That's what I'm here for. Live Abundantly Life and Health Coach. Want to help you feel better. So, and of course, feel free to share this video if you feel like you know somebody that could benefit from it. And I guess just have a wonderful week. I will see you all Wednesday as we continue our It's Time to Feel Better series.